I'm Sydney Miller from Hawaii, and you're watching College Volleyball Weekly. Let's go, Bows!
I'm Kendall Whitmarsh with Arizona State, and you're watching or listening to College Volleyball Weekly. Sports up!
Hey, good day, everyone. It's College Volleyball Weekly Beach Top 20, episode 309 on Viral Volley Media, and on screen with me, none other than the lovely Sydney Miller of the University of Hawaii Beach Bows. It's been some time, but yes, I remember who you are, Sydney, because
Yep, we're
you're just
back.
that
Don't
kind of
worry,
person.
guys. We're back. We had to get an episode out before Alabama. We're here, ready to go.
Well, we have a lot to talk about, and you might as well talk about your team and unfortunate end of the season. But let's talk about your Beach Bows because you want to be a good ambassador to
Yes,
Hawaii.
of course. We had the Big West at Cal Poly this year. We made it all the way to the semis, and we're against Cal Poly, which of course is a really good team, and they ended up winning the title for Big West this year. So, tough loss. Of course, nobody wants to go home. Not a winner, but we put out everything we had, and I think the underclassmen learned a lot, I hope, and are ready to step into some new shoes. Because, like I said, we have 10 seniors, so it's going to be a pretty new team next year. And
Wow.
yeah, a lot of seniors, but again, no way I would rather end my career. Like, I happy to be like representing Hawaii and with all those girls. And yeah, of course I'm bummed I didn't get to make to Gulf Shores because it is such a good time. But there's a lot of my friends that I've made along the run that are there, and I'm so stoked for them and excited to cheer them on. So yeah.
Well, you ended the season with some of your teammates getting some Big West postseason honors in Julia Lorenz from Curitiba, Brazil, one of the spiciest Brazilians and the
Mm-hmm.
funnest at that too.
Yes.
But guys, she's engaged. You can still follow her.
Is
She's still super
engaged.
fun.
Yep.
And then, of course, I wanted to make sure I get everyone on there. Kira Kornman.
Yep. And
From,
Isa got first team too.
oh, did she?
Yeah, her
Oh,
partner.
that's right. You know what?
Partner.
Is in alphabetical, so I missed it. My bad. Sorry, Isa.
You're good. Gotta get
So
your
that was Julie and Isa were teammates at the one.
yes.
So
Yeah.
that was great. And then, of course, Sydney Miller. I know we joked about it, but honorable mention, still a great place to be.
Thank
Um,
you. Thank you. No,
Longest blocker on the road.
literally, I am the longest blocker. No, I'm stoked for, the two that got first team, and then also Kiera got freshman of Big West. So, like some really cool awards, and they're most deserving. So really proud of them and happy to call them my teammates.
Well, what's most interesting is Kira, I mean, comes from a town that is there beach volleyball there?
You would
Fairport,
think
New York.
no. You would think no, but there is. She tells me she used to wear mittens while she played in socks. I'm like, is that even beach volleyball? How do you set? She's like, that's why I'm a bump setter. I'm like, well, you need to move because you need to turn into a hand setter.
Yeah, it's called hockey. That's what they were playing.
Literally, right?
Well, we wanted to talk about some of the other postseason awards and the tournament. I really don't know where to go to because there's been so much
Mhm.
just within the last week alone. But we'll go AVCA Player of the Year and then into the conference tournaments just because they're pretty crazy. There's some expected things going on, but then there weren't. So we'll start with the AVCA Player of the Year. They started with semifinalists with a pretty awesome group, and I could only remember seven of them. So I'm going to try. Got Emma Donnelly of Cal. Oh, Ella Connor of Cal Poly. Kennedy Coakley of USC. And I'm going to go blank on the other ones. Maggie Boyd and Sally
UCLA.
Perez
Yeah.
of UCLA.
And
And
then
then Audrey
LSU.
Koenig and Alexis Durish of Florida State. But I'm missing one, and it's going to bother me.
Avery
Donnelly.
Jackson.
Avery Jackson. There you go. Oh, sorry, Avery.
Got
Love you,
you,
girl.
Avery.
But a pretty talented group, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, yeah, they're the best of the best. There's like a reason why they're in the running for ABCA Player of the Year. All are great candidates, and I think any of them is deserving to win.
Two sophomores and a junior in that mix, and Donnelly is the junior, and then of course Avery, and the other name Avery and who's the other sophomore? Oh my gosh, I'm
Mm,
drawing a blank again. I
Not
have to
Kennedy.
look at my list here.
Kennedy's a junior. It's not
Oh, I
Kennedy.
thought she was a sophomore.
Oh, maybe. I think she's a junior.
She may be junior status,
Oh,
but 2 years. Yeah. So
maybe
yeah, because
sophomore actually.
Ashley, yeah, Kennedy Coakley of USC is the other sophomore. So I mean, look at just under half of those players acknowledged are going to be going back to programs next year,
Mhm.
which is going to be insane.
Yeah,
So, any thoughts on, well, we do know the final or the finalists
we
now,
do.
and it's
Wahaha.
basically two teams represented. It's
Yep.
Florida State and UCLA. But tell me your thoughts on Maggie Boyd and Sally Perez.
I mean, when the first original list came out, like I knew that they were gonna make it, like Sally and Maggie were gonna make it all the way to the end. I mean, they're one of those teams that like you just like they're almost perfect every day. And it's very rare that they're not perfect. And even when they're not
Mm.
perfect, they're still like pretty dang good. So not surprised that they're one of the last two to be in the last four. Again, UCLA was kind of like about 50-50 with Stanford as the number one seed throughout the year. So like of course it makes sense. One of the number one teams has two players in the final. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see what they do in Alabama, and I think it could really go to either of them. I feel like maybe more Maggie because she's a senior than Sally. I think Sally still has some time, so I think they might. If they choose between those two, I think they're going to give it to Maggie. But I don't know. I feel like it could go to any four of them.
It's going to be crazy this year because you have Maggie and Sally who've been virtually unstoppable. They do have a kryptonite though,
Mm-hmm.
and that is in the form of the Texas ones of Breck Piersma and Katie Hashman. They just have not been able to
Figure it
beat them.
out.
They're
Yeah.
1-3 against them, or
Yeah.
0-3.
Yeah. It was funny actually on the way back. We were watching like just the stats and stuff from when Texas and UCLA were playing in the finals, and I was like, me and my roommate were like, "Do you think that they're going to be able to get him?" And I thought that UCLA was going to get him back, but apparently Texas has figured him out pretty good. And I mean, I'm sure that probably has something to do with Stein being their coach. I'm sure he knows a little bit more than maybe what other coaches know because I think he coached Maggie 1 year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
her freshman year. So, I mean, I'm sure that helps to have somebody on your side that knows the kind of what's going through their minds. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're waiting to save it for the key moment in Bama. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, actually, I was looking at they've only beaten them once, so they're 1-3 against them, with their only other losses being to Avery Jackson and Kelly Bellardi of College Volleyball Weekly, and Emma Donnelly and Portia Sherman, which are, I mean, if there are good losses, if there is, it's
Yeah,
against all those pairs.
no, for sure. I mean, both of
But
those have somebody that's in what or were at some point in the list. So, of course, it's a good loss.
but they are a solid pair, that Maggie Boyd and uh, Sally Perez, because
Mm.
seeing them play even against pros and the AVPs, they are giving the seasoned vets fits when they play them.
I mean, of
So
course, they're young and in shape. And then on top of that, they're skilled. So they got to take it to them older ones a little bit, I bet.
take it to those older ones. They just recently graduated from 4-year schools too. It's
I don't
crazy.
know. They're basically old. If they're graduating, they're old. It's like me. I'm officially a NARP, means I'm old.
Right, sure. We'll have to ask you about your plans, but we want to have the Sydney Miller episode so we can talk about Sydney Miller off the court. So I'm not going to ask you that here because
Okay.
it's such
All right.
a great story, and just it could be very inspirational to others. But let's talk about the other pair that's being considered. Uh, Audrey Koenig and Alexis Durish of Florida State. What a crazy stat line. Durish is 33-0. She
Which is
hasn't played all her matches with
insane. Yeah.
Audrey. And Audrey's 29-0 with together with them. So
Oh,
she's
together. Okay.
30-0. She played one time with Jordan Bulware early in the season
Huh.
and she won. So she's technically 30-0, but she's 29-0 with Alexis, and Alexis is 33-0.
That
You know,
is
did
insane. Like that is literally insane. Like on that alone, they should win. Like, do you know how hard that is to do in Division 1? Like, and they're at the ones, right? I'm assuming.
yeah. Yep,
Yeah,
all at the what? Well, I think one of Audrey's is at the twos, I
yeah.
believe.
I mean, okay, she can have one of the twos. It's okay. She's still a
Yeah.
baller. Like, it's gonna be
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, to be undefeated is a pretty crazy
Yeah.
stat line.
Yes, that's insane and very hard to do. The best of the best can't even do that. So kudos to them. And I think that gives them a very high chance of also winning. I think it's going to be a really tough decision for whoever has to vote for that.
Well, this is the thing. I'm looking at who they've faced off against.
Hmm.
And, legit pair is Anna Paloya and Tannen Rosenthal of LMU. But
Hmm.
I don't see a Texas matchup, UCLA matchup, because Florida State didn't go west and UCLA
Mm,
didn't go that far east. And I didn't see any Stanford matchups, but they did beat Emma Donnelly and Portia Sherman, which is a legit win.
that's a good pair. Yeah.
So, I mean, and SC, when Kennedy Coakley and Ashley Pater were at the ones, they've since dropped down to the twos. So, I mean,
I
I'm
think they're
thinking
back at the ones now, are they not?
no, they're Zoe Henson and Sarah Wood are at the ones for
Oh, okay.
USC.
Okay.
But I'm curious, like if Sydney Miller is on the committee for this Player of the Year, and you're looking at the record of Audrey and Alexis versus the resume of Maggie and Sally, which
Hmm.
way do you go? Because I couldn't figure it out.
You know, I'm not going to say. I don't know. I don't want to say because any answer is incorrect. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you're
No, I'm
taking
just
the
kidding.
safe
I
route.
think honestly, I'm picking out of those four, again, all amazing athletes. I think I'm going with Maggie, to be honest. I think she's just like such a well-rounded player and a good person at the end of the day, and like has an insane resume when it comes to her 4 years, not only just this year, but all of her years. Like, I think she's played every year at the ones. Like, that's insane. And,
Oop,
you know, I'm
yeah.
what she's got All American every year as well. Like, it's not just this year, but it's been every year. And I know probably the FSU girls and Sally have had similar like resumes, but I just think that Maggie's is like a shining star. So
Mm,
that's what my guess is going to be. But again, I think any of them are deserving and any of them could win it.
yeah. I mean, it's going to be a crazy year of athletes, as we've said, just based on that pool of people that
Yeah.
even the 16, I looking at that 16, like, how do you pick? You
Yeah.
know, if you look at records, sometimes the record isn't an accurate representation of what they're doing because,
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the MPSF tournament, at the
That's a
ones,
real
Maggie and
tournament.
Sally
Yeah.
played.
Like, oh my God. Holy.
Like you come in battle, win one, but you got to come back and go to an even harder opponent.
Hmm. Literally, though. Oh my gosh. That tournament must just
So,
stink.
well, let's talk about what that'll be unveiled on the Player of the Year will be unveiled Friday. I
Hmm.
got, as you notice, I still have my backdrop from doing
You.
the video for the semis. Yes, I'm riding that one just because I was so
God, I
excited,
love it.
and I do have an extended version of my descriptions of how what these players have been doing this year, which I will post. I just wanted to make sure AVCA was cool with me doing it. So
Okay, good. I'm excited to watch it. I'll be your first viewer, so you have to let
yeah,
me know when it comes out.
they went to the 90-second version because they figured less is more. Like less I talk,
Honestly,
the
I do
better.
think that is true. Like I find it's easier to not scroll if it's shorter.
You got
You know,
volleyball
that's you.
ADHD.
Gen Z, literally, volleyball ADHD. If the rally's longer
Yeah.
than like 15 seconds, I'm like, all right, I'm over it.
Well, let's jump over to the 16 teams that were selected for the 2026 NCAA Collegiate Beach Championships.
Let's do
You
it.
know, you had the automatics, and I want to shout out one particular one because you have connections by being a Rainbow Wahine or just a University of Hawaii, not alum yet, but still there.
Mhm.
Ayal Zimet, the head coach of Tulane, the Green Wave, coaching them to their first ever NCAA Collegiate Beach Championship appearance.
Yeah. I am like the reason why I think I'm so okay with like us as a school not going is because we lost and then I opened my phone and I saw that my old teammate and roommate best friend won her court to like secure them their bid to go, and I was like all sadness was gone. I was just so happy for her and her teammates, and she's worked so hard and I'm so excited to see what Tulane does. I mean, they have a really hard first match, but never say never. Like good luck, but I think, just even being able to like experience going and, the initial like event they do and like practicing and all like the cameras, it's just like it's one in a lifetime experience. And I'm so happy that their whole team gets to do it.
Well, I wanted to mention her name just because you never dropped it, and she
I
is on
did. Amir
college
Ali.
volleyball.
I did too.
Amira Ali. They kept calling her just by Ali on the broadcast. I was so no, it's Amira Ali. Come
Yeah.
on, hit it.
Come on. You got to do the same thing. AA, Amir Ali.
Well, you notice who got the first 2 points. Well, actually, the first 2 points were won by Molly Trod and Skylar Ensign.
Mhm.
SoCal girls, one at
Yep, which
Miracosta,
I
the
am
other,
really good friends with Molly, and I mean I've met Skylar a couple of times, like playing her when she's been with Molly, so they're all both super awesome.
and it was sister Tani Ensign playing with Amira Ali to get the clinching dual point
Hmm.
to punch their ticket to Gulf Shores.
Heck yeah.
Now they have a task in front of them. The year that UCLA only gets number 3 seed, they end up facing them in the first round. So, you know, who knows what can happen?
Yeah.
You know,
Never say never.
yeah, exactly. So we'll go down up the top. The number
Okay.
1 seed facing off against University of Tennessee, Chattanooga. Talk about what you know about this matchup.
What is it? Sorry. It's
Stanford and
Stanford. Okay.
University of Tennessee at Chattanooga, or just Chattanooga.
Yeah, yeah, I know them. Okay. I mean, I think Stanford has been pretty steady throughout the whole year. I think I'm assuming that them not winning MPSF was disappointing and left them pretty hungry. So I imagine they're gonna come out pretty strong and um just like gritty, I think. But I also think, I mean, again, I think anybody who made it this far, like is has an opportunity to win against the team across the net. Chattanooga won their conference again. I'm pretty sure they were there last year as well. So I mean, I'm sure they're going to also put up a great fight. Super scrappy team overall. I mean, they don't play as straight up as Stanford does, but who knows? I mean, Stanford's been seeing a lot of very aggressive offenses with the people they've been playing recently, being like UCLA, USC. So maybe Chattanooga's offense and defense, maybe it's gonna give them a run for their money. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, I'm looking at the Stanford lineup, and after witnessing what happened at the MPSF tournament, they were 2-0 in that semi duel, and it got turned on them. I mean,
Mhm.
it dropped so quickly because of the format. It was a twos and fours, in which they got the points, and then the next few points dropped at the ones, threes, and fives. All I believe that all three set tie breaks. It was, I mean, one of the most dramatic finishes I've seen in a turn. And I
Mhm.
know that that's got to be some kind of inspiration for Gulf Shores because
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure.
Stanford, the winner of the first ever MPSF Beach Volleyball Championship, they thought they were cruising in, but they came across a hot Texas team. So
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, like you said, though, I think they've earned their spot at the 1 seed, and I think that they're going to come in hungry, and they should, you know?
yeah, one of the pairs that caught my eye though for Stanford, the twos of Ruby Sora and Brooke Rockwell. Um, they just play really well together, and Brooke is such an aggressive defender behind the block, and she's got a fiery attitude and a big arm swing, little
That
whippy
she
swing.
does. She does. She's a fiery little one, but I mean, it works for her and her pair, and um, I think she's just still at the start of her career. She's only a sophomore, so I think there's a lot coming for her.
All right, let's jump to the 8-9 matchup because
But
so Stanford Chattanooga moves on. They will play the winner of the 8-9, which is the California Golden Bears and a fellow team in the Big West, the Long Beach State Beach. What do you know and what do you think about that matchup?
oh, this is gonna be a fun matchup. I think. I mean, like the lineup says, they're 8 and 9. They're very similar teams. I think it could go to either of them, to be honest. I think Cal's has a pretty heavy ones, but so does Long Beach. So I think that's going to be a good matchup. I think, trying to think of who else at the Cal. They kind of, I feel like, figured their lineup out a little bit better. I think they were kind of struggling at the start of the season. I think they figured it out and studied out. So I think it's kind of anyone's game. I think, um, Long Beach's twos and threes are really good. But I know that Cal's fours and fives are really good. So, it could be a 2-2 down to the ones. I don't know. I'm excited to watch that one though. And of course I have um my I don't know. I am a little biased for Long Beach because I love Malia and Taylor so much. And I don't know, it's hard because I
Fellow
also love
San
Portia.
Diegans.
That game's hard because I also love Portia. So it's kind of like I don't really know who I want to win. I like need to close my eyes and like cheer for everybody. I don't know.
We didn't even drop the also College Volleyball Weekly contributor, Mary Lou Powley, and
Yes.
partner
Yes.
Grace Hong at the twos.
Yes. See, I don't like even know like wow, that's just it's gonna be such a fun little matchup. I feel like them against Demi and that pair is gonna be they're pretty similar style wise playing, so that's gonna be a fun one to watch.
Yeah, I think I think the ones will be the one that can set the tone.
Yeah,
So
for
they'll get
sure.
the later start. Do they
Oh,
start
they
the
start all
opening
at the
rounds?
same time.
So that's
Everyone's
going to
supposed to
be
take time.
interesting to watch.
Yeah,
If if Taylor and Malia can pull that off, that I feel like they can get the momentum going on the
yeah,
side. But
yeah,
Cal has been on the wrong side of 3-2s a lot this year and deuce
yeah,
sets. So I mean, they are on the bubble of greatness
yeah.
if you look at their results.
You never know. Now is the right time to peak. Who knows? Maybe they're gonna peak at the perfect moment.
Yeah. So it'd be a hard pick because, like you were saying, they are so close.
Mm.
Cal's record's just a little better, but at actually no, they're right around 23-13, and Long Beach State's 25-11 on the year. So, but I think that Cal's obviously finishing off in the MPSF tournament. They kind of had a rougher road, so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
because they
Yeah,
were battling with teams that were in contention. So,
yeah,
but
for sure.
let's move on to our next matchup here. That would be here it is, Florida State at the 5 seed versus Stetson. It's a all Florida matchup.
Kind
So
of sucks. You're coming all the way to Alabama and you're playing another team that's from the same place as you, but I feel like that
driving
always happens.
Gainesville.
Always happens. I mean, I've said this from the beginning with you. I think Florida State's at a way higher level than a lot of the teams, and I think it's gonna really show in this tournament. So I'm curious to see how Stetson, defends them as like their offense is just such at a higher level of like running tempo quicks and like they're running stuff at like indoor runs that's like so
Mhm.
high IQ that is like very hard to defend and to dig. Um so I don't know, I'm excited to watch FSU. I'm excited to see what Stetson has. I mean, congratulations to them again for making it out. But yeah, I'm excited.
Good call. I mean, I wish I could say as much as you, but I really they weren't on a lot for me to see, and they didn't come west, so it's
Mhm.
hard to get a
Yeah, no, I mean,
breakdown.
I'm only seeing it through, media and then the rare times that we did play them, which was in the fall. And then I think they were at one tournament that we were at. But like, yeah, how I also haven't seen them a lot, but
Yeah. Well, let's jump over to the 4 versus 13 seed USC versus Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Now, USC, they had to switch their lineup around in the MPSF tournament. I don't know if it's due to injury, but Carrie Keeve stepped out and Macy Bolliard stepped in to, I believe it was the three pairs. And, but they came up across, of course, another hot team on their way battling in the semis. But
mhm.
um, not a whole lot on Texas A&M Corpus Christi. But they always seem to win that conference there in the Southland, um,
Yeah.
and always have a good team by Gail Stammer. So,
I think
but
Texas is
SC,
very, I think they're gritty. I think is their number one thing. I think they, know they need to earn it, maybe a little bit more than other teams because maybe they're not as flashy. So I think they always come into this tournament, being humble and just hungry. And I think that's the best way you can come in. And I mean, USC is no different. I mean, I think, feel like they have a lot to prove. I don't think they are happy with where they are standing wise. And I think they were hoping for a better outcome in the MPSF championship. And, I think they were pretty bummed to not even make it to the finals. So I'm sure they're also going to come out pretty hungry, like similar to Stanford.
well, they're young. USC's
Yeah.
young,
Yeah, they are
so
young.
they're gonna have some fuel for next year, regardless
Yeah.
of the results,
Yeah.
which is going to be scary because they're really good already,
Mhm.
along with some new recruits coming.
Yeah, for real. Oh my gosh.
Well, here's an interesting one. Another Big West's colleague of yours, 11 seed Grand Canyon. I mean, they got in, just edged LSU, and what I'm thinking if I'm the committee, against number 6 seed Cal Poly. And you obviously have a recent experience about Cal Poly, but are they better than last year?
Who, Cal Poly or GCU?
Yeah, Cal Poly. Well, both actually, because they both were in it last year.
I mean, I think they're pretty similar last year. They didn't lose that many people last year. They lost Piper Furch and anybody else? I don't think so. Oh,
Be correct,
Lindsay
was a
Sparks.
GC was not in it last year. They were fighting to get in because I
Yeah,
know that Coach Abra Rummel was making the case, and I mean she had a good resume. But
yeah,
Cal Poly, they lost a lot last year, but they gained a lot from the portal and
yeah.
just some girls getting better and some solid core to build around.
Yeah,
Because
I
you
mean they're
had
deep and I'm sure they're gonna show out. I mean, I kind of think maybe honestly GCU has a little bit more momentum coming into it. I think they've won some games that they people weren't expecting them to win, and I think they kind of have the grit right now, maybe a little bit more than someone who's coming off a win, but that's just
Mhm.
my opinion personally. I mean, I think again, Cal Poly is a very good team. They're gonna be hard to beat. They're deep at all 1 through 5. Um, but again, never say never. I think anybody can, be anybody in this tournament. And I think GCU has good momentum coming into the tournament. So
they got all their Brits. They've got Katie Keefe and Isabel Tucker
you
and a
do.
few other Belgian girls and Una Cohen's and
Mhm.
so yeah, they're it just happens they were in the MPSF, so don't let the record fool you
Yeah.
because how about this next one, a rematch of the national title match from last year, number 10 seed TCU against the number 7 seed LMU.
Which also, it's like so mind boggling to me that a team that just won the national championship can be a 10 seed. Like, what? That's like, that is how quick it moves, but you never
Hmm.
actually think it's that quick, like how much a couple people graduating can change like the dynamic.
Hmm.
Um, I'm excited to see this matchup. I really think it could go either way. I think it's going to be kind of clawing. Again, really good ones matchup. Again, I don't feel like TCU has really lined up with anybody on like California side. So I don't know if they lined up against LMU this year at all? I don't think
I
so.
don't believe they have. I should
Yeah,
look
so
it
I
up.
think
If
it's
they
kind of
did,
like
I believe it would have been at the Death Volley Invitational,
yeah.
but I'm gonna look it
So
up
I
here.
don't know. I'm excited to watch that one, to be honest, actually. Now that you say that, um I really think it could go either way, but also LMU always performs at this tournament, but like so does TCU. They won last year. Maybe it'll bring up some past emotions for past players and they'll feel a little bit of, we can do this and I don't know, maybe surprise the audience.
Yeah, TCU didn't travel a whole bunch, but they did have a pretty tough schedule. They had Florida State, USC a couple times, Stanford, unfortunately on the losing end of those. And then gosh, actually they beat LMU 4-1 back on April 10th. So
Who
interesting.
knows?
But I do believe Tannen Rosenthal may have been out of the lineup at the ones.
Mm,
So they weren't fully ready for that
yeah.
matchup. So, but we'll find out 2 p.m.
Yes,
on
we will.
Friday.
That we will.
And then the final matchup, one of the hottest teams, I'll have to say, they finished the season with a 13 dual winning streak. That'd be the Texas Longhorns. And they're going to be facing off against the Georgia State Panthers in a rebuilding year. So, but tell me what you know, Sydney, about either of the teams.
I mean, I think anybody who's facing up against Texas in the first round, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, to be honest. I like that just is tough. I think they kind of have gone into their flow and figured out how to beat really good teams. And I don't think that their flow is stopping anytime soon. I think, they're excited to be in Alabama. And they're hungry. They just won the MPSF against like all the top teams. And I mean, why would you not want to keep it going and win a natty? So I think anybody across the net coming from them is going to be tough. And like you
Yeah.
said, I think Georgia State's going through a rebuilding year. I mean, I don't think they had the best year. They kind of turned it on exactly when they needed to win their bid to get to Alabama. But yeah, I don't know. Again, like I said, anyone can win anything, but I think it's going to be tough to knock the Longhorns down on this one.
Well, the all the pairs are, if they're not a foreigner, they're young, and they've got some seniors sprinkled into the mix, but very talented seniors. Um, you look at the freshman pair at the twos, Anna and Kachka Pavlikova. they're twins, but one is 6'2" and the other is like 6'4", 6'5".
Mhm. No, who do
And
you even serve?
yeah, it's like, do you want to get bitten by the bomb or do you want to get scorched by the?
Bitten by the bomb on the other side also. They're literally the same. They like don't even need to jump.
Well, Breck Pierceman and Katie Hashman got the AVCA Pair of the Week, and man, rightfully so. That the
Hmm.
path that Texas had to take to win the MPSF tournament, they won it by going through the winners bracket.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, they
so
deserve that. You got to beat the best to be the best. So, and then they did that and proved it, through and through. And I think that's definitely in contribution to their ones pair. I mean, they were pretty consistent throughout the whole weekend and got a lot of big matches that they wouldn't have won if, it wasn't for them. So,
yeah, great breakdown by you, Sydney. Enjoyed chatting with you on all this stuff. I believe I'm hoping I can get you on at least 2 more times here for
oh,
the
two. He's
Sydney Miller
pushing his luck.
episode. But we'll have to see how that works out because I go from Gulf Shores to the men's
Yes.
indoor national championship next week. So we'll see what I can work out. But
Mhm.
that's Sydney Miller of the University of Hawaii, the Beach Bows. And unfortunately, season has concluded, but she walks out with an honorable mention in her final season. I got to ask you this so our listeners and viewers know, but
Mhm.
what's on the future plans for Sydney Miller?
I think I'm going to New York. I'm pal with volleyball. It's been a great chapter of my life, but I'm going on to a new chapter and I'm really excited. So yeah, I think I'm living here in the summer and then in Hawaii, and then I'm probably gonna head to New York and see what the Big Apple has in store for me.
And what would you be doing in New York?
Fashion merchandising is my major, so something along the lines of fashion, which is the perfect place to go.
Oh, all right. Well,
The
that's
more you
Sydney
know,
Miller.
that's me.
Not only lovely, but intelligent.
Oh, so sweet. Thank you.
All right, Sydney, thanks again for tonight. We will chat again.
Always a pleasure. Thanks, Rob.
Thanks for listening to College Volleyball Weekly. Be sure to follow Rob Aspero at the Rob on the Mic on Instagram and at Rob on the Mic on Twitter.